welcome to this audio podcast. As part of the prompt series. This audio podcast, as part of the ball and rumble, and this audio podcast is part of the atomic headline, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Logistics production. Through this audio podcast, and sort of continuing in around some of the in around the varying or differing the differing investigations for different investigation or laboratory investigations for the identification or detection in around different microorganisms in line to microbiology. And so, in line to microbiology, in this audio podcast, a look at nucleic acid sequence-based amplification, or NASBA. So NASBA, in a time, was a novel methodology for RNA amplification, using what's known as an referred to as an isothermal process. It basically has three enzymes. It utilizes three enzymes: reverse transcriptase, RT, RNase H, and T7 RNA polymerase. A primer defining the three end of the target sequence. Primer number one, or primer one, is annealed to a single-stranded RNA. The primer includes a T7 polymerase promoter sequence, which is essential for the RNA polymerase to initiate transcription later in the process. RT, the reverse transcriptase, or RT, then completes the RNA-DNA hybrid, which is converted into a negative single-stranded DNA by RNase H. The second primer is then attached to a double-stranded RNA and is produced by reverse transcriptase, incorporating the T7 promoter. T7 promoter, the T7 RNA polymerase, and then just transcribes from the T7 promoter up to 1,000 copies of a negative RNA strand of the target sequence defined by the primers. The cyclic phase of the process can then commence. In the cyclic phase, primer 2 anneals to the minus strand of the RNA. The RT completes the DNA strand utilizing RNA as a template, resulting in a DNA RNA hybrid. The RNase H enzyme destroys the RNA strand, leaving a positive single-stranded DNA. Primer 1, including the T7 promoter region, now includes now attaches and reverses transcriptase again, and which completes a double-stranded DNA consisting of a target sequence with the T7 promoter attached to it. The T7 RNA polymerase then transcribes the double-stranded DNA to a few hundreds or even 1,000 copies of RNA. At the same time, NASBA, nucleic acid sequence-based amplification, gives a sort of more rapid exponential amplification of target sequence than that of sort of the traditional PCR polymerase chain reaction, and is an isothermal, wherein in order to amplify DNA by the NASBA process, it is first necessary to transcribe it to a negative stranded RNA, which involves approximately 2 thermal cycles. The main use of NASBA has been in the use on has been on the basis in the detection and quantification of RNA viruses and mRNAs, of RNA viruses and mRNAs. HIV, for example, HIV load, for example, through the use of plasma RNA level is often assessed using NASBA kit, NASBA kit or kits kits and systems based on NASBA are also available for the detection, for example, of in around the detection of the microorganism tuberculosis, tuberculosis and other targets, targets. At the same time, analysis of NASBA products analysis may be carried out by a number of methodologies. For example, liquid hybridization with radio-labeled, enzyme-labeled probes, dot or northern blot, and also solid phase hybridization and detection, which uses electrochemiluminescence for quantitative kits. So that draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast is part of the prompt series. This audio podcast is part of the ball and Orambul. This audio podcast is part of an atomic headline. And this audio podcast is part of a Storm Lobostics production.